Hello YouTube, hello gamers, hello night lords and night farers. I got another video for you guys today. Uh, this one I had to cut a bunch of the little boss fights out, so I just started with this special event, this auger boss fight. This is a really nice one to get. I think it's very easy to do. You don't get much from it, but you get FP off your healing flask, which is very nice in this game. But yeah, we're fighting the dragon in this one, the Fissure in the fog. I think it's Caligo, Miasma of the night. And we also have the Godskin duo. So there's only a couple boss fights in this one. I didn't show the whole run like I've been doing on the previous two videos. And as you saw, I put the time down. If you want to just skip straight to the main boss fight, the Night Lord boss fight, you go for it. I'm just going to talk a little bit about this one. This was our longest run. It was 55 minutes, and that's been the longest run that we've had. When we were doing this, you know, we done it a couple times in a row. We lost a few times to the dragon, and we for some reason, like, you know, I kind of complained early on in some of my early videos about the RNG in this game, about drops not, you know, the drops not being for your character, or, you know, the RNG, some of this stuff so RNG dependent on how the boss acts, you know, especially the Night Lord bosses. But on this particular day, we just kept getting the Godskin duo as our second day boss, and we also had a couple of dropouts where people just either quit out or the internet dropped out, whatever might have happened. And so it was weird. The RNG just kind of got stuck in this particular set where we had the Godskin duo, and for me, the Godskin duo was pretty tough in this game. Not so bad until they kind of start their second phase, but their RNG kind of sometimes will go crazy, and they'll just keep doing their moves where you can't hit them very much. Like the big one will jump up in the air over and over, or do the roly. I call it the roly-poly, where he rolls around and you basically can't hit him for, you know, 30 seconds to a minute while he's doing all this stuff. So it's you know, it ends up taking a lot more time because we're having to wait on these combos or these big moves to stop so we can attack. And I think you'll see it some in this one. This one might have been a little bit better than some of the other ones, but yeah, we decided, I was in a party with one of my buddies, Mr. Good Cats, and then we had a random here, and this random ended up being pretty good. So as we're fighting, we decided that after running into these guys like 3 times and us struggling very much so, and I think we lost to them one time because it was one of those times that one of our randoms dropped out. I'm talking to him, I'm like, look man, let's just take our time. If our random goes down, let's take our sweet time and just get him up when we can, or vice versa. You know, if I go down, don't worry about me, just take your time. Just don't die trying to get me up, basically. And this part of the fight goes really well every time. You get him to half health, but then he starts this mess. And then sometimes he'll just spam it over and over and over. And if he ain't doing that one, he'll jump up in the air like a balloon and do this over and over and over too. So it's very RNG dependent on how it. I think I was supposed to get a crit right there as well, that it didn't give me one. I don't know why. But that fire's annoying as well. Plus they're throwing fireballs. It's just one of the more annoying fights. But you know, they're also annoying in the main Elden Ring game as well. But we've got better at it since, because this is from a while back. Like I said, this is what I'm talking about. Boom, he immediately is doing it again already, and I'm just like, come on, man, you know. And then he switches targets on us. I don't know. It's just wild. But yeah, this is. I don't know what happened this run. We was just stuck with these guys over and over and over. But we finally get through these guys, and we finally, you know, beat the actual boss. But this guy was the dragon. I felt like I'd done pretty good on this dragon boss fight. You'll see how I do in there. But still, by the end, I'm out of heals, and you know, some of my teammates struggle at times with certain attacks. I think that's just, I spoke about it a little bit in the last video, how some bosses are really easy for some people, and then they also can be very hard for other people. You know, it's just dependent on your playstyle, I think, and the RNG you get in this game. This game is so heavily RNG dependent that that's the main thing it's got going in this game. But I think that's all I got to say. I always get to rambling talking about this stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, please leave a comment. Talk about whatever you want in the comments. No restrictions. Any criticisms you got, let me know. Anything you'd like to see, let me know. And we'll I'll try to do some different stuff here and there, you know, if I can get some feedback. But I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, have a good day, and GG's, and bye-bye.